It's getting close to almost 2 years ago now, but a little over a year and a half ago when I arrived here. A few Sundays in, many of you know I have a gaggle of small children that follow me around sometimes and are here about half the time with me. And they'd come with me that Sunday, I think, with one of my family members. And after church, my mom, I think, came up and she's like, someone came up and asked if the kids wanted to go to Sunday school. And I looked at her, I'm like, we don't have a Sunday school. I was kind of looking around like, what Sunday school? What children besides mine? And I should beg for forgiveness as I put one of our parishioners on the spot. I'm saying all good things, Jonathan, I promise. So I was like, what Sunday school? My kids are the only ones here. And my kids are like, yeah, there's a guy in Sunday school in a video. Like, who's this guy? I quickly discovered that one of our very faithful parishioners, Jonathan, diligently creates Sunday school whenever children show up. I have to underscore how wild of a program this is, because this isn't a program. This is Jonathan, okay? Yeah, like, yes, let's cheers, Jonathan. Now, most churches wait for like a critical mass of small humans to put together a program and a curriculum and teachers and all of this stuff, right? Let's have enough people here to do something. That hasn't been how Jonathan has operated. Jonathan's response has been, if someone is here, let's do it. And I admit it has ruffled some of my clergy feathers of like, that's not how you do Sunday school programs, right? Like that's, like, no, that this isn't like how do you put this on the website? Like, how do I advertise this? But you've been so persistent in the time I've been here, and your attention and your flexibility and attunement to what small people end up being here. It has pushed me to think somewhat differently, because we get stuck in our ways of thinking. Our ways of thinking about how many people we need to have to make something worth it, about what we should or shouldn't do to be successful, about how we're supposed to do things. But we're hearing in our gospel today something that I want to call out as a really audacious message. God is with us. God is with us. God is with us. And I've been thinking about our children and our Sunday school program and Jonathan, because it feels like the thing I keep hearing him shout in what he does and in our conversations, that God is here. God is here in the 1 or 2 children that are here. God is here in the 3 or 4 people that show up to volunteer. God is here. If you've ever volunteered with us on a Tuesday night, which I know many of you have with our feeding program, you will know God is here. What you might not know is that behind the scenes in our organization of volunteers, it really is a prayer of God is here, because we've never truly formalized, right, our volunteer system. Like, there is not a finely tuned spreadsheet of who's coming in when. It is so often a Hail Mary pass. And guess what? God is here. And somehow meals continue to come out and people continue to be fed. And week after week, we come and we fill this space, no matter how big or how small our gathering, no matter if we are overflowing with children or if there is one noisy 3-year-old reminding us that God is here. In so many ways, we buck the tradition of the order and the correctness of the church of generations past of what looks correct or full or worthy of being a part of, and instead have said over and over, when 2 or 3 are gathered, God is here. And we don't just tell people that God is here, we show them. We make whatever difference we can. We may not fix the hunger of the world or of our community, but we will feed who we can. We may not be able to house every person in need of housing, but we'll let our lot fill up for whoever needs it. God is here even though we are not a cathedral with programs and budgets that are overflowing, though frankly cathedrals are not overflowing with people and budgets. God is here. And we as a community find one of our greatest spiritual gifts, our ability to love and celebrate God's presence in the smallest and most holy of places. That we are looking not to grandeur or prosperity of numbers or of any other outward sign of being the best, but instead we celebrate where God is showing up and moving and where we feel and proclaim God is here. Perhaps I am alone in this, but I know enough of you are embedded in the Episcopal world that it's easy to see all the things everyone else is doing, the programs, the music, the splendor. God is there. But God is here too. That we are called not to think of everything we don't have, but of all the ways in which we find God. It is an audacious thing that Joseph does to believe this angel and to go forward in support and love and care for Mary. As much as I love to focus on the stories of the women in scriptures, I have to give Joseph his dues at being a great supporting character, right? He has the audacity to believe, despite all evidence to the contrary, that God was there. May we have the audacity to believe that God is with us, to proclaim that by word and example and by deed, to show up in great numbers and in small, to be God in the world, and to live incarnate into that phrase. God is here. Amen.